welcome back to West Virginia Mountain Life. I'm going to do a quick video today showing you how to dehydrate apple chips. My kids love these things and they're really nutritious. And what I did was I actually went down to our local grocery store that we use all the time here, and we just love them to death because they have really good reduced produce. And lots of times I can buy these apples and stuff for next to nothing because they'll have like a spot or something on them, and we can cut that out, so it's really not a big deal to us because we're going to eat them anyways. Well, I bought an abundance of apples this time, so I had a lot left over. So what I'm going to do is make some apple chips for the kids. They're great to pack in their lunches. They're really good for them to have as a snack after they get home from school, and it's not like they're sitting there eating on a bag of potato chips. That's not going to be good for them. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my mandolin and I'm going to slice these apples. I've set my mandolin on a level 3. My mandolin has a lock mode, and then it has a 1, a 2, and a 3. The 1 seems to be super thin, and for apple chips they dehydrate down so fast and they get really small, and my kids kind of like something that has a little bit of substance to it to chew. So I'm going to set this sucker on a 3. And it comes with this guard, which is wonderful, and I highly recommend you use the guard. But the problem is when you have a big apple like this, it's hard to get the guard to hold in there while it's still big. So what I do is I try to slice down fairly, almost halfway, somewhere in there, fairly close down before I put the guard on and use it. But I don't recommend people do this unless you're extremely cautious. These blades on these mandolins are really sharp, and you can take off a finger, a fingernail, the top layer of your skin, all kinds of crazy stuff with this blade on this mandolin if you're not really careful. But I do love my mandolin, and I use it very often. But we're going to start out. We have washed our apples. I tried to cut most of the spots out to make sure that, you know, we didn't have any places or anything on the apples. But I keep my paring knife here just to be on the safe side. And what we're going to do is we're just going to hold our mandolin at about a 35-45 degree angle. Something like that. Take your time. You're not running a race. And as you can see, it's making perfectly round apple chips. And what you're going to do is you're going to take these little guys and you're going to lay them on top of your dehydrator trays in a single layer. And I'm going to show you a quick trick after we get them all laid on here. It's kind of like putting a puzzle together. And as far as like coring the apples and all that stuff, you can do that if you want to. But I'll just be honest with you. After they're dehydrated, it kind of just goes away. And it's really not a big deal. And most of the time, the kids just eat right through them. So it's really not a big deal to us if it has the core in it. Now that it's getting closer down to like halfway the apple, a little under that, I'm going to go ahead and put my guard on here because I don't want to chop my finger off. So this guard has these little cool nubby doolollies, and you put it down in there and it actually grips onto the apple, okay? And it's going to hold onto that apple or onion or potato or whatever it is that you're having to chop. But as you can see, it goes all the way down till there's hardly anything left of the apple when you've got the guard on. If you was to have done that without that guard, you wouldn't have a finger. It would have done took the whole top layer off of it. Now, I've got some space left on the top of my dehydrator tray where I didn't have room for any more apples because these are fairly big apple slices. And I've got lots and lots of apples, so I'm just going to cut one in half and lay him on there. And the reason being is because, like I said, my kids will eat these up so fast, it won't make a difference. Now we've got our first tray done. Okay? We're going to continue to do these until we fill all our trays up. And while I'm doing that, we aren't going to bore you to death with having to sit here and watch me slice these and all that. I'm going to go fill all my trays up When I get them filled up, we're going to come back and I'm going to show you some neat little tricks that you can do with them before we put them on the dehydrator. So you guys hang tight with me and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, we're back now. I didn't bore you to death sitting here slicing apples all day. But as you can see, I've still got a lot of apples left, so we'll be doing something else with that later. I haven't decided yet. So maybe in the next day or so, we'll find an apple pie maybe with a homemade crust. Who knows? I'm getting all kinds of flags from my kids over here on the side and my husband over here on the side saying apple pie, Mom. So I have a feeling we will be getting a pie. But anyways, I've got everything sliced up. I've got them all on my trays. Now, I'm going to show you some nifty little tricks. The first trick is anytime that you slice fruit, be it bananas, apples, pears, anything like that that you want to slice and put on your dehydrator, if you do not spray them with lemon juice or something acidic like that, they will turn colors. The easiest way I found to do that is to go over into your travel aisle in your department store and get some of these little sprayers that you load up with like hairspray and stuff like that to take on a trip to travel with. And take these, and I just put this full of lemon juice and I put it in my refrigerator and I keep it there all the time. It's great for spritzing chicken, all kinds of different things that I do with it. But I keep one just specifically for lemon juice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and spray my apples. Make sure you spray them and get them really good and covered, because we're going to do another nifty little trick. This right here is cinnamon sugar that I made myself. I bought a cheap bowl of cinnamon. I took some of my regular sugar. I emptied out half and half and I mixed it up, and it's just regular old cinnamon and sugar. I put it back into the container because I wanted to have a shaker top to it. You can also put this over into a salt shaker if you've got one that you're not using for salt, or a pepper shaker or whatever. On the pepper shaker, it comes out a little bit finer, so you know, just be careful, because this one has big old holes and it dumps real easy, but I wanted that because I like a lot of flavor on my apples. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and sprinkle my apples after I've squirted them with the lemon juice with cinnamon and sugar. Now I know all you health nuts out there are going, oh my God, she put sugar on those, now they're not healthy anymore. Guess what? My grandmother ate sugar her whole life, and she was a very healthy woman. I don't think that if you're using natural sugars that it's, you know, going to kill you. I think it's a good idea to use sugar and lard and butter and all that good stuff that we're not supposed to be eating nowadays. But anyways, I did put cinnamon and sugar on these, and my kids are going to love them later. And you're going to go down through all your trays and spritz those down and just keep dusting the cinnamon and sugar on there. But these little containers right here, guys, when you get done with your spices, don't throw these away. There are tons of things that you can do with these. One of the neatest things that I found to do with them was when my kids were little, and which my youngest son is still little, he still uses powder, but I used a lot of baby powder with them. And when I was traveling somewhere, I would buy baby powder in bulk quantities. I'm talking like the big containers of baby powder, because it was cheaper. If you save one of these and you put your baby powder down in it, it'll go in the diaper bag and you can close it up and take it with you, and that'll save you some money on having to buy the little teeny tiny cute ones that you can buy that cost 3 times as much in the store, just because they're really, really cute and you're not getting hardly any baby powder. Also, there's just a vast variety of things that you can do with those. And I also found out in the last few days that there is an actual technical term now for all this crazy stuff that I do when I save all these weird containers and reuse them. It is called upcycling. So, I am trendy now, which is something I don't think I've ever been. But I am trendy because I am upcycling my containers. So, I think that's a pretty cool word. And I may be using that a lot lately, just because I feel really neat that I've hit into the technical phase of life. Because I'm not one of those people. But anyways, we're going to do all these apples just the same way, and we're going to restack our trays. And after we get all of them done, we're going to stick them over onto the dehydrator and turn it on and let it do its thing. And just periodically check the apples after you put them on the dehydrator until they get dehydrated to the consistency that you want. Some people don't like them to be dehydrated fully to where they're real good and crispy. Some people like them to where they're almost to a chewy stage. And if you'll notice in the store, they have them in different varieties when you buy dehydrated fruit, as to if it's really super dehydrated or kind of not dehydrated. That's all a taste preference thing. So you pick where you want to stop dehydrating them at. But I will tell you this. If you're going to dehydrate them to store them, make sure you dehydrate them fully. Because otherwise, it causes moisture to get trapped inside of your storage containers or whatnot and so forth, and they don't keep as long. When we get done with these, if my children don't attack them and eat them the next day, then I will put them inside of one of our vacuum seal bags, and I will put another one of those oxygen absorbers, and I swear I've got a jar of them here somewhere on my shelf. These are the same oxygen absorbers that we were talking about that we used in our bath bombs and in our dehydrated bananas to preserve them. We'll drop one of these in there, we'll vacuum seal the bag, get it nice and tight, and everything will be good, and then they'll be able to be stored for a long time. We actually did some bananas because I got a good deal on bananas, and oh, here they are on my top shelf. And I put them in a jar because I'll just be honest with you, I don't foresee these guys hanging out for a long time because my kids really like them. But you can hear them. They're nice and crunchy. And I've got an oxygen absorber in here. I was trying to look. I think I just shook it around till you couldn't see it. No, it's in the main top. But anyways, there's an oxygen absorber up inside here. And I vacuum sealed the jar. And as you can see, I'm beating it to death. It's not popped open. It's still nice and tight and vacuum sealed. And I did that with the jar attachment on the vacuum sealer. But these I'm probably not going to be able to store very long because my kids like them too well. But I highly recommend that you do these for a healthy snack for your kids. And they'll really like them. They're super easy to do. It's a good way to store stuff, especially if you're going on a long trip. And our child has to go a long way to the doctor, our youngest son. And because we have to travel so far, it's easier for me to pack snacks for my kids myself than it is to stop at a gas station every 5 minutes and spend a lot of money. So I will take things like this with us to the doctor, and it works great. But if you all have any kind of suggestions or anything that you all do for healthy snacks and easy things to do for your family, then please drop us a line. Let us know what's going on. Tell us if you like us. If you like our channel, please subscribe to it. We really appreciate you guys, and we are happy to have you in my home. And just stay tuned. We'll see what else we can come up with. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, welcome back to Mountain Life. We just wanted to do a quick update to show you on our dried apples, our dehydrated apple chips. These has been overnight, and as I was telling you before, if you're going to do long-term food storage, you need to make sure all the moisture is out of them. And as you can see, these are still kind of gooey. So we're going to put them back in and let them dehydrate for a little bit longer. I just wanted to let you guys know that if you are going to do them for long-term storage, you do need to get all the moisture out of them. Now, if you're just going to take them out and eat them, you can eat them right now. But I would suggest to go ahead and let them fully dehydrate. They should be crisp and crunchy whenever you snap them in two. So we're going to put them back in and let them do their thing for a little bit more, and we will get back to you whenever they're finished. Hey guys, welcome back. What we have done is we have let our apples finish dehydrating. They have cooled off. Everything's ready to go. I'm not going to do any long-term food storage with these because they do go so fast in our house. I'm just going to put these into some Ziploc bags. If I was going to do long-term food storage with them, I would put them in a food saver bag with an oxygen absorber packet and go ahead and seal those up, and then they'll stay for months, sometimes even years, depending on how good of a seal you get on them. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what they look like when we get finished. And to prove that they go fast, our middle son Christopher, he decided to take a bag to school today for a snack. So we are one tray short of what we started with. But basically what we're going to do is I'm going to show you these chips. When they get finished and they're dried, you can see the cinnamon and the sugar that we put on them. But they're completely dried. You can hear them. They're crunchy, just like a potato chip. And that's what you're looking for. That way you know there is no moisture. Here, Jax, have an apple chip. There's no moisture whatsoever in the chips. So therefore you know whenever you store them, they're going to stay nice and fresh, and you're not going to have any type of mold or anything where they're going to get soggy or anything like that. So basically I'm just sticking these into some Ziploc bags now, and you want to be careful when you're putting them in. Don't like jostle them too much because they will break up, because you saw how dry they were. And that's pretty much the extent of it. Dehydrating food is not a hard thing to do, but it's very valuable. Like I said, we use these on road trips. We're going to be taking a trip pretty soon with our son to the doctor, and as you can see, he's already devoured that chip that I gave him. So he really likes these, and it's a lot cheaper to do this, and it's a lot healthier for him that we do these instead of stopping at a gas station every 5 minutes and trying to find something for him to snack on. I wanted you all to see, I'm trying to get these in here, I wanted you guys to see how little apple chips that you actually do end up with once you've dehydrated them. So don't get discouraged if you have like 4 trays of apple chips and you end up with 1 bag. It does take a little bit longer to do a whole bunch, but it's really not hard. But that was 2 trays and 1 bag, so I have 4 bags or 4 trays to start with, so it would have been 2 bags originally. Had Christopher not taken a bag to school this morning for his snack. But I just wanted you guys to see how it's done. I hope you have fun doing some dehydrated things. There's tons and tons of things that you can dehydrate to save your family money. And also, it's good in the event of an emergency situation, an electrical outage or anything like that. You have snacks and food that is stored and ready to go. So there is my apple chips, all complete and put in the baggies for our trip this week. And we will see you next time on West Virginia Mountain Life. Don't forget, guys, if you like our channel, please subscribe. Have a great day and God bless.